Hello, my name's Sarah and I've been on my weight loss journey now for over 5 years, and altogether I've lost over 18 stone. I've lost over 260 pounds. I've done that with a combination of Slimming World and WW. I lost 7 stone 6 on Slimming World in 8 months. Then I switched over to WW and I've lost a further 11 stone. It took me 3 years to get to goal and I've now been maintaining for over 2 years. I wanted to talk about how I succeeded specifically with WW. To me, it's all about routine and habit. Everything I do on a daily basis is around routine and habit. So when I was losing weight, I didn't exercise. I now exercise daily. Before lockdown, I was swimming every day, and now I do daily yoga. It's just something that I do. It's something that I've got into a routine of doing. So I will get out of bed, I'll go and put my yoga stuff on, I will do yoga, whether that be half an hour, depending on my time frame and what video I choose to do. I do yoga with Adrian and I just dip in and out. I do the 30-day ones, and then I'll dip in and out of videos for a couple of weeks, and then I'll do another 30-day one. I like to do half an hour's exercise because I've got an Apple Watch and I like to get my exercise in. I like to hit my exercise goal every day. So that's just what I do. It's part of my routine and habit and I just do it. However, it is when I was losing weight, I didn't do that. For me, it was learning about food was the most important thing for me, and changing my mindset around food was very important. So I concentrated my efforts on changing my diet and changing my mindset. When I got to goal, I then joined the gym and I started to exercise. And for me, that's how it's worked. That's how I chose to do it. Obviously, it's very individual, and that's the beauty of following WW. There's 3 different plans for you to choose, and you can do exercise if you want. You can choose not to do exercise if you want. It's entirely up to you. The other routine and habit that I do, and one of the main things that has made me succeed with WW, is I weigh and track everything as soon as I plate it up. So I will go into the kitchen, and I've done it from when I very first started with WW over 4 years ago. I will go into the kitchen, I will put my scales on, I will put my plate on, and I will zero them, and I will literally weigh everything and put it straight in my app. Before I even walk out the kitchen, I know how many points are in that meal. I've done it from the very beginning. It is now embedded in me and it's my routine, and I would do it constantly. I even weighed salad the other day. I just zeroed it and put my salad on, and I was like, what am I doing? Don't even need to track that. But that's how embedded it is in me. I will zero everything, zero the scales, weigh it, put it straight in the app, so I know exactly how many points that is before I walk out the kitchen. I also drink 2 litres of squash a day. I have 4 of these that I keep in the fridge. Not the same one, I have different ones, and I drink them in order. And once they're gone, I know that I've drunk 2 litres of water. Sometimes I'll have a little bit more. I never have less. But if it's a hot day or I've done quite a lot of exercise, I might have another one. I also drink coffee and Diet Coke in between, so I do get quite a lot of fluids a day, but I always make sure that I drink 2 litres of squash. And I see my points. One of the big things for me is I see my points as money, and I will happily spend 15 points on my main meal a day, maybe more. I do that because I like to feel satisfied. I want 1 meal a day which is a meal that I really, really, really want and is going to satisfy me, and I'm then not going to look for food. My main problem, when I first started WW, I did the Smart Points plan, which is the green plan. I lost over 9 stone with that plan. Then the plan switched over to Flex, which was the blue plan. I struggled with flex, and I know quite a few people that have really struggled when Smart Points went to flex. It's 7 points difference in plans, but it's a big difference. I am not a huge fan of a lot of the 0 pointed foods. They're not foods that I would normally go to, but there were foods that I was finding I was having to eat because I was hungry. I didn't feel satisfied. I would never on the boob plan spend 15 points on my main meal because I just wouldn't have. I'd panic. I would actually find myself panicking that if I used that many points on a meal, because I was thinking, well, I've only got 7 points left, whereas I'm used to 30 points a day. So I'd find myself in a little bit of a panic. Really didn't like it at all. But I will happily on the green plan spend 15 points on my main meal to feel satisfied, because what I was finding when I did blue was I was having low pointed meals, didn't feel satisfied, didn't feel full. I'd then go to the fridge looking for something else to eat because I didn't feel satisfied. I'd then get Greek yoghurt or 0 pointed natural yoghurt out of the fridge, and I would happily eat a 330 gram pot of yoghurt because I didn't feel satisfied. Then I still didn't feel satisfied because I didn't want that yoghurt either, and I'd go and have a couple of boiled eggs. I wouldn't have normally done that, but then I still didn't feel satisfied, so I'd end up eating chicken breast. It was just, it just really didn't, I really didn't get on very well with it. So I personally will happily spend quite a lot of points on my main meal in a day to feel satisfied and full, and I then don't go looking for food. I really don't. I will have snacks throughout the day because I like having snacks throughout the day, but they're only sort of like 2 pointed, 3 pointed snacks at the most, whereas I was using those 0 pointed foods to bulk out because I never felt satisfied. So that's how I make WW work for me. I make sure that I have something that I find filling and satisfying and that I really love, then I don't go looking for more food. So that's why I will spend like 15, 17 points on the main meal, because I want to, and I really like it, and I know that I'm going to enjoy it, and then I'm not going to go looking for something else to eat. The other thing that was really important throughout my weight loss journey is mindset and how I deal with it's about looking at the way that I eat and the reasons that I eat the way I do. Binge eating is a big thing for quite a few people. I managed to curb that quite early on. When I first started my weight loss journey with Slimming World, I decided that I wasn't going to have any rubbish in the house and that I wasn't going to eat any. For 8 months I didn't eat any cake, crisps, biscuits. I needed to abstain, and I seriously needed to abstain and go, I'm not having it. I'm not having it in the house. If I've got it in the house, I'm going to eat it, and I can't do that. So when I first started, I concentrated on having quite big meals so that I felt full, and that sort of curbed my binge eating. However, it does creep in every now and again, and it will with everybody that has issues around binge eating. I had a problem with binge eating just before Christmas. I had a problem because the new plans came in. It was close to Christmas. My head wasn't in the right place. I was struggling anyway. There were a few I don't know what it was. I think it was the fact that I've got food in the house. The plans had switched over. My mind was all over the place, and I was struggling slightly. So I had a few issues around binge eating. And so even now, even recently, I've had to look at the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing and try and change that. So for me, what I do when I feel a binge coming is I will try and say no for a couple of days. I'll just go, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. However, if after a day or two where I can feel it building, I'll just have a day off plan. I've found that works really well for me. If I binge eat, if I get to the point where I'm going to binge eat, I'm going to be eating a lot of rubbish and I'm just going to be shoveling it in and I'm not going to taste it. and I'm not going to enjoy it. So what I've found, and it's worked quite well for me in the past sort of 6 months or so, is if I feel a binge coming, I'll try and stave it off for a day or two. If it's still there, I will have a day off plan, and I will have those foods that I've been craving for a while. So and I just find that because I'm eating the foods that I want and not binging, that seems to just stave off that binge. It just seems to dissipate, and it works well for me. I find if, like I say, if I binge, I'm not eating those foods that I've been craving for months, and then I'm still craving those foods because I still haven't eaten them. Whereas if I have a day off plan, eat those foods, I feel satisfied, I've had my day off, I'm fine, and I'm straight back on it. That's how I deal with that. So yeah, that's how I've succeeded with Weight Watchers. I drink loads of water, I exercise daily. Didn't do it while I was losing, do it now I'm at goal. I track and weigh everything. I have always used my weeklies. It's a big thing for me. Without those weeklies, it would be a diet, and I would not have got as far as I've gotten. I use those for the foods that I'm craving. If I'm spending a huge amount on a main meal, so if I do go sort of to 20 points from a main meal in a day to feel satisfied, I'll then supplement with those weeklies if I have to. I use them for snacks. They are literally there to be used as far as I'm concerned. If I didn't use them from the very beginning, I would have struggled and I would have failed. And more so once I've got to goal. Because I'm at goal, I've always used those weeklies. My body's used to me using those weeklies, and I can happily use them. I know people that have not used them and have got to goal and struggled, because even though you add extra points when you're at goal, those weeklies to me are what makes this livable and makes it a lifestyle. It means that I can go out and I can have my coffees, means I can go out and have a meal, and I don't feel guilty for it because that's what my weeklies are for. WW would not have given me those points if they didn't want me to use them. That's what I've always thought anyway. So I've always used them. So that's how I've succeeded. That's how I've maintained. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.